In this video, we are going to learn how to create this. A link to download the resources will be given in the description so you can check them out to follow suit. Let's get into Photoshop. First, I'll create a new file and I'll be creating a 4x4 inch document. I'll click on create. Next off is I'll like to add guides to my document. Come over to view, guides and new guides. Click on the 2%. I'll come over to view, guides, also create a new guide on the 98%. Next off is I'll come over to view and we'll do the same for the horizontal axis. For the vertical axis, click on OK and come over here, guides 2%. After doing this, next off is to add a gradient. I'll come over here and I'll add a gradient to my design. I'll be using this X code. I'll set it and I'll in the description. I'll change it to radial and I'll click on reverse. I'll set it to OK and I'll bring in my first background. I'll come over here and I'll drop this nicely like that in the document. After doing so, and I'll click on OK. I'll click here and I'll set it to screen. I'll reduce my opacity to 50%. Next off is I'll bring in the next design and I'll drop this in my background. I'll wait for it to load and I'll click on OK. I'll change the blend mode of this to lighten. Can reduce it to somewhere around 9%. After doing this, we're going to add the final background. This, and I'll drop it here nicely like that. After dropping it in my design, I'll click on OK. It's going to be at this side and we'll be writing our text here. Next off is we can pick the three of them together and press Ctrl G on the keyboard, and we can rename this to background. Next off is I would like to add my logo here, so you can just add your logo just like that. Pick a white text color and type your logo here. I'll reduce the tracking to 0 and I'll click on OK. I'll leave my logo here. We're going to be using a left aligned document design. Next off is I'll pick my text tool, create a new layer, and I'll copy from this place. I'll paste it here and I'll be using the font Morganite. I'll be using the semi-bold and I'll click on OK. Press Ctrl T to expand it just like this and I'll click on enter. Can drop it here nicely like that. Press Ctrl J to duplicate it and bring it over here like this. You can pick your text and you copy passion. Come over here and paste passion. Press Ctrl A, come over here and set it like this. Click on OK, press Ctrl T and expand it. After expanding like this, click on OK and place it nicely like that. Duplicate this again and drop your design down here like that. We copy from our text for theater and we can place it here nicely like this. After doing that, select your theater and we can change the color of this. So we can use a recent yellow that we have. So we can pick somewhere around here and we can click on OK. Click OK. Select the three together and align them like this. Align their spacing and you can bring in these three together, align and align their spacing together. Press Ctrl G and you can name this theme Press Ctrl T on your keyboard to expand it a bit and click OK. Raise it up and we are good to go. Next off is we'll pick this and we'll copy this text. We'll pick our text tool and we'll type. This time we'll be using the font called Objective Medium. I'll paste it and I'll click on OK. I'll press Ctrl T and I'll reduce the font like this and I'll click on OK. Click on OK. I'll select these two together. I can select the three together and we'll align it to the left. Pick this and this. You can raise your theme design here, just like that. Press Ctrl T to expand it. You can increase and we can raise this for theater up a bit and align their spacing. After aligning the spacing, you can raise this up now. Yes. After doing that, press Ctrl G on your keyboard and bring it nicely like this. But first off, we have to draw a rectangle. Pick your rectangle tool and you draw a rectangle just like this, nicely like that. You come over to the layer properties, uncheck this and change this to 20. Change this also to 20. Next off is we'll change the color and we'll set this to the yellow we used here. You can click on OK. I'll pick this duplicated text and I'll copy this one here, join us today. I'll paste it, press Ctrl on my keyboard and I'll be using a red color. Click on OK and I'll click on OK here. I'll come over here and I will place it like nicely here. Press Ctrl T on my keyboard and I'll expand it. And I'll place it nicely. Select the two of them together and align them. You can leave the join us today like that. Select the rectangle and can increase this to 30 so it feels rounded. Next up, we can just pick the two of them, press Ctrl G to group them and name it John. Next off is we like to add a call button. Come over here and drop this in your design. Pick this and you can use this call icon here. Right click and copy. Next off is I'll bring this into the design. Press Ctrl T and I will reduce it nicely like this. I'll place it here in the design and I'll right click, pick on my blending options. After doing so, I'll click on color overlay and I'll set the same yellow on it. I'll click on OK and OK. Press Ctrl T to reduce it nicely like this and I'll click on OK. You can duplicate this text here and bring it over here. So we'll just bring it nicely to this place and we'll copy our call number. I'll click here and I'll click on OK. I'll click OK here and I'll place it here nicely like that. Press Ctrl T to expand the text and you can make sure that there is no layer and you set it like that. Pick the two of them together and align them. You can set this and group them using Ctrl G and you can name this call. Next off is we would like to add the last text and this is it here. We copy it and we duplicate this. We bring it down here just like the rest of them and we'll paste it. Press Ctrl on your keyboard, open the tracking and we'll increase the tracking nicely like this. Click on OK and we'll bring it down to the bottom. Select everything and align them to the left. Also align their spacing, and after doing that you can pick up the talents and the join and just raise it up nicely like that. After doing so, to get your perfect positioning, And with that, we have been able to create something nice for an e-flyer. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.